Now, simultaneously, I just want to note that the Black Freedom Movement was covering all of this as well as the Black movement. So you have, in this time, the flourishing of the Black Panther Party newspaper with the famous drawings by Emory Douglas. You have the Nation of Islam paper in Chicago with our own Salim Muakil, who was at the time an editor of that and has gone on to be an extraordinary journalist here in Chicago. You have the Black Arts movement happening with Third World Press establishing itself for the first time, and the poet Hakeem Adabudi starting Third World Press with Gwendolyn Brooks. We should all go see tomorrow the opening of the Gwendolyn Brooks statue, only the second statue of a woman in Chicago. And you have people doing theater and playwriting like a Mary Baraka or Leroy Jones at the time. And you have the formation of the women's movement, which has been going on for the last 3 years, but coming into flowering right here in '68. The kind of second wave, what's called the second wave, which includes, of course, the Combahee River Collective of Black women. So I'm just saying that this explosion of independent reporting 50 years ago was a blow that weakened the traditional notion of newspaper reporting, of the nightly news, of Walter Cronkite, of James Reston going to a Saigon hotel and reporting the war from there. And it exploded it really because of the social movements and because of these kind of journalists. And I want to just note, I know you're doing this next and next and next, but I didn't know that when I was thinking about this, that this upending of the traditional way wasn't just in journalism. As you indicated, it was also in the arts, in anthropology, sociology, music, and movement tactics, the growth of the movement coming together around the war in Vietnam. So I think that the flourishing underground press was a response, in a way, to what the journalists in Saigon called the 5 o'clock follies, which was the nightly official U.S. news broadcasting that was done at 5 o'clock, where people came out of the hotel bars and wherever else they were hanging out in Saigon to listen to the American official press releases. But the young journalists who were covering it by this time, for sure, had concluded, as had many vets coming back, that the war was a war of occupation and imperial power and could not be won.